Do you ever look at old characters that you made and think, what if she were a bigger girl? What if there was more woman in this outfit? You know what I'm saying? More mass, more energy. What if we take a character, this one perhaps. I remember drawing this little bear girl on a whim, and I always meant to come back for all the skinny bear girls. They're supposed to be big. After they hibernate, it makes sense that they stay this skinny. But the weight gain has to come. It has to come for them one day, and today's her day. So if you would like to see how we got to this moment, stick around, get some popcorn. No, better yet, get your sketchbook. So this is the original spread. We did a video on this. I don't know if you remember, but I have always loved that heart girl and the bear girl. Everybody else, they don't do it for me. I don't necessarily care. The girl in the red, almost I care for her. Okay, fine, I care for her too. Where was I? Yes, okay. Have you ever looked at a character and said, what if? What if your character gains weight? You know what I mean? Especially with the time skips and when time passes. You think they're gonna stay the same forever? No, let them gain weight. But the bear girls, especially, bears are big creatures. They're large creatures. They're the mass, the volume. So I ended up making a sketch. I absolutely hate that girl with the rose dress. I hated it. So I thought that I would just do that. I wasn't going to take you along for the ride. This blue that I'm using, it's dying. I didn't think that this was gonna look good, but it's got more juice in the tank than I thought. Therefore, I thought maybe I should bring you along. I'm sorry. You should have been here for the sketch stage. In my defense, how was I to know? How would I know that this would look good? One thing that I absolutely adore is a good color palette. This Winnie the Pooh deep honey color. Oh my gosh, paired with an electric blue? Paired with an electric blue? How dare we? I love it. I love it. I love it. We're just gonna get the skin tone out of the way, but I know you guys saw in the beginning, I don't know what it is about me. It's very hard to draw the same thing twice without taking any, not even a small bit of artistic liberty. It's not fair. It is not fair. I've already changed the dress. It was a necessary evil. I had to. Do I love the original dress? Yes. Yes, I do. But she grew 3 times in size. She's got tree trunk legs. She's a broad woman. If you don't put her in a skin tight, maybe velvet dress, later for poofy dresses, I'm sorry. I just don't think it's gonna do what needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? If someone's gonna save the city, get Batman. Get Batman. Like, why would... And I don't know what these rings are on her legs. They're not a part of boots or anything, but I love them. And I want to see them in every available color. Did I stutter? Every available color. I was thinking a deep red. A soft pastel that's purple. The pinks. The hot pinks. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hot pink. Honestly, if you have a character and you don't know why you don't like them, for some reason the design is not sticking out to you, you're kind of frustrated, nothing really works, I guarantee you need to play with the weight. It's not always make them bigger, sometimes it's smaller, make them lanky, make them awkward. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some people have big hands, some people have a big head. So like, I'm just putting that out there because there's a few characters that I was looking back on and I'm in that position. I don't know what it is. I just don't like them, and I've changed the outfit. The color palette as well. But now, maybe we'll go back, and maybe it's just time for the big girls. You know what I mean? Like, woo, more mass. There is one girl in particular. You're gonna see her soon, because every single time I pass that page, I'm eyeing her in disdain. You guys liked her, so I try not to touch her, but wait, is this a boob window or part of the dress? Should I do that? Should we add a boob window or is that too much? Decisions. You know, I try not to go too far from the dress, like the original one, but at the same time, who are we to hold back this diva? Who are we to hold her back? You know, this is coming together quite nicely. We're almost done with the skin. It's just the head left. Some of you guys have been asking for longer videos, so I'm trying to keep this in real time. Deep down, deep down, I have the urge to speed ahead because I am taking my time with this coloring. I really am. I'm excited. So I kind of go slow when I feel like I'm gonna mess up. In the original, we have her eyes closed. Are we gonna do that again? I kind of feel like we should leave them eyeballs shut. Also, this might actually be the lightest I've drawn in Colorays because it's not showing up that much. I'm a very heavy-handed person. I don't know about you guys, but I don't realize how hard I'm bearing down on pencils when I'm drawing. You can see the indentions in the paper sometimes, and I'm like, girl, check that. And I'm very worried about this boa. That's gonna be hard to recreate because when I tell you that acrylic marker is giving me problems, it's trying to retire, it's trying to die, and I won't let it. For some reason, I just don't swatch. So this was a marker that I thought was close. Did I look too hard to find the perfect shape? No, I'm not gonna lie to you. I did. I could have looked harder, but I think it does the job. I've also found myself digging into older art supplies, and you know, they expire, they get old, they're not as juicy. Therefore, you have to deal with how patchy it gets. I'm so sorry because streaks don't bother me. Not really. I can understand to the point where it's like chaotic, but I try to make them a little nice. Am I trying to clean them up and get rid of them? No. It'll never be that deep for me. And sometimes I'll see comments and they're like, why don't you like really put in the effort with your art and see what that looks like? I just am not interested. I don't know what it is. I see the streaks in my art and it's like, you can stay there. I'm okay with it. Usually something covers it in the end anyway. I like to layer different colors, not the same repeatedly. I think in the end it fixes itself. It's not even me. The art the art somehow manages to make it better for itself. I'm really glad I put the final product in the beginning because it looks kind of crazy right now. I would be remiss to stop using this little acrylic marker that wants to die. I refuse. This might be my last video with it. It really is trying to kick the bucket. Not on my watch, buddy. Now this part I will speed up. You don't need to know how long I was fighting with this marker. We don't benefit from watching me struggle and bring that thing back to life. But it is a pretty color for the trim. You know what I mean? Like the straps that falling off her shoulder. It's highlighting the boob window. Do you see how much product is suddenly coming out? Maybe it's just faking. I honestly think it's been holding out on me. So do yourself a favor. Don't throw your markers out. Slap them around. Slap them around and make them work. So you heard it here first. I just realized we can tear out the page with the original drawing. If we just pull it out. We could have been referencing and looking. Comparing even together like friends, like what? And you know, even though we're drawing her right now, is it really enough? I would like to have a spread of her. Like why don't we see her on multiple pages? Okay, pause, because I really thought that this blue acrylic painter cannot hold out. My goodness. Now guys, let me ask you. As I get a marker to finish the job, this painter is not having it. When do you throw out supplies? Like how bad does a marker have to get to where you're like, okay, you've done enough? Personally, I don't ever feel that, but like, but when it genuinely stops working, like nothing comes out, then I'm like, all right, you're off the hook. And don't judge me, but even then, I feel the need to come back in a month or two to see if they changed their mind or to see if that little marker's holding out on me. Like, do you really have nothing in the tank? Am I deluded? Like, I just need to like check, like, are you really dead or were you just having a hard month? I should have put them all the way up her thigh. That was a rookie mistake on my part. I knew. It's all the way up the leg. I should have put them at the tippy top. It's fashion. I should have known. It looks more green than blue. We've got to fix that. Or we've got to try. I mean, You know what's the weird part? I have other acrylic markers that are blue, but look how the product is coming out. It's still got something. You know, something in me is just like, don't you give up, champ. But if I need to leave this marker alone, tell me. I don't think I'm gonna do it on my own. I need encouragement. I actually cannot believe that worked. I cannot believe that worked. What? I cannot wait for the outlining stage. I think it'll start looking like her more when we can just outline. But let me grab some acrylic markers because I'm not gonna fight this whole video. I've got a lot of fight in me, but don't take it all. Like, you know what I mean? I have a really bad habit of just uncapping markers and using them. No swatch, no idea what it looks like. Why? I meant to grab the darker blue, but here we are now. And you know, I feel like the trim wasn't poking out as much as it should have. I mean, I don't want to add too much attention to that, but now that we're here, would it really be so bad if the rings were shiny, if they had a gleam to them even? Huh? And they look bluer now. So that really can't be the wrong answer. I think we just make decisions and we get further and further from the original concept, but it couldn't hurt. In fact, I think it stands out more because of it. So I do want that on the trim. A little bit more dramatic, if you will. I long for the outlining stage. Outlining is when it all comes together. And we're not quite there yet, but we can start working on the feathers. Adding the white part. These are not gonna look like the other feathers. It's just not. We are not equipped with the same thing. I drew the outline first and then just put blue in there. The white is just the background. We don't have that luxury. Unfortunately, we have to put the white in there. You know, this is kind of why people thumbnail their sketches first, so that they can plan out what they're gonna draw. And even though this is makeshift, I think it's still gonna look good to the best of our ability. You know what I mean? I have faith that this will come together during the outlining process, not a second beforehand. Right now it's gonna look how it looks, and it's gonna keep looking like that until we put our hands on a pen. I can also admit that I should have tried harder with the colors. This is very similar to her feathers. This is so familiar to that dress. I mean, oh, we should have done better. We had lighter tones. We had it fading into the white. Instead, it all looks the same. What to do? This one was just for funsies. This was a doodle. We didn't try too hard, but she really does need her own spread because we're kind of messing up with this choice. Where are our different hues of blue? This isn't even finished yet, and I feel the need to try again. I guess we'll just have to see her again. Okay, we have finished coloring. We're done. We haven't finished the hat yet. I don't know if I care about that hat right now. So we're gonna grab black for the ears, and then we're gonna outline. Thank God. I've been waiting for this. I have the Mr. Pen retractable gel pen. I love this thing. It was like $8.99 on Amazon. So soft. I forgot I had this as an option. Actually, I have a whole set. I don't know where the rest are. But this is a genuinely soft pen. I loved. Actually, I've never drawn with this pen. It's always been writing, but this is a good pen. When it comes to outlining, let me tell you, this is the step that makes me fall in love. This is the step where you know it's all about to come together, or you're in the fight of your life. Like, you know what I mean? There is something, everything becomes crisp. The lines, outlining is my favorite part. I don't know if you want to hear me quote my little sonnets and poems about outlining, but I love it. This is where like the femininity sparks, and we get to do the lines and the hair and the styling. We get to see her lashes later. You know what I mean? Like, this is when like all the details that we never got to do until now finally come in. It's like a reward for being patient in the marker stage. Oh, that's definitely a reward. I feel like earlier in my art journey, I wasn't waiting. I would like color like one section in, maybe just the outfit first, and then I'd start outlining. And I think I added gel pen early too, and it was a mess. You gotta be patient. This is the reward. I don't love the way that the mouth looks. Yeah, that's not. We're gonna have to fix that one eventually. Even if I end up putting the bottom lip there, I still think it's gonna look a little weird. We're gonna need gel pen later. And wouldn't she look good with more accessories? Now, I won't do it. I won't, but it's a thought. Imagine if those rings around her legs were around her arms instead. That would be cute. Maybe we put a ring over her hair, like some kind of really thin headband. That would be so cute. I'm thinking curtain bangs, the ones that swoop real low. Oh, and maybe the long, dramatic lower lash line. Okay, let me focus back on her. My thing about the dress right now is, are we gonna show a little bit of side boob, a little under boob in the window? The boob window is cute. Are we putting something in the window? That's the question. Because it's cute like this. We could do more. Or is that distracting? I also love this little ball on her chest. I think that's so cute. What does it mean? I don't know. But I love it. Now, we chose a dress with 2 high slits on both ends, and I love it, right? We're having a little mini dress moment. This could have easily been a unitard, though. This also could have been like shorts, like cute little cheeky shorts. Same length. I think that would have been cute. And maybe a strong belt. Now, you and I, we're gonna breeze through this part because it's not the initial outline that matters. It's the thicker ones that we add later. That's what gives it the juice, the sauce, the spice, the thing that makes you want to look harder. You know what I mean? Not this part. I don't know what it is, but her skin looks orange to me now. Earlier, we said honey. We said Winnie the Pooh, this deep, dark, beautiful mustard color. It's giving orange. Why? I don't know. And it's also reminding me of Big Bird. We're gonna have to make some changes. Oh no. Did I ruin it for you as well? I feel like once you see that, you can't necessarily unsee it. And that's very strange because Big Bird does not have legs like that. So what? Oh man. And I don't feel that way about the smaller one because I think it's the number of rings and the fact that they're so thin. I should not have made them so thick. They did not need to be spaced out like that. I mean, at least her hair is fabulous, you know? Say what you want, but that hair. It's down her hair and in a curl. And I almost wasn't going to add that. It's part of it also. If we could cover up some of that artwork next to her, go on and cover it up. I am so silly because I have acrylic markers with heavy coverage. Why would I not grab them? This one, it's gonna need a layer or two in between. I can't even promise I'm gonna do that, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes. It's visible, and that actually just might be good enough for me. I see less of that rose dress, so good enough for me. You and I can finally add more details. Finally. I was getting tired of her looking the way she was looking. I need details. Something that is beginning to catch my eye. I think it always did, I just didn't know what. It's the way that skin and clothing meet. The way that it hugs your body, where it's loose, where it's tighter. I like that. You can see wrinkles. You can see where it's taut against the skin. Like I am a fan. I'm a fan of it. I'm a fan of it. As well as shading so that you can like get a grasp or like hints of how full something is. I adore it. Tell me more. Tell me more. Like, you understand that bigger girls have mass, but we need to see more of it. Accentuate it. Also, this girl ain't got no eyebrows, and nobody told me. Like, yes, we're gonna add some eyelashes, but if we don't put, and I want the same eyelashes. I like the fact that they're like, they make her look worried in a way. They come up in this upward slope. It's so cute. Like, she's expressing concern. She might be one of those characters that don't open their eyes because I like her. I like her just as she is. I'm interrupting the rest of the hair for an emergency intervention on the feathers. Listen, if we don't figure out a way to make this just a little bit better, if we don't figure it out, because I'm not doing it again, but it's just, I think there's just a lack of detail, and that can be fixed. That's what we're here to do. We're just here to fix. And thank God, because for 2 seconds, y'all don't stress me out. For 2 seconds, I was like, that is not cute. Everything was coming together except that. These don't compare to the original feathers, but they were never meant to. This was just a doodle. Sometimes I have to remind myself, when I find myself being like hypercritical of something, you really do just have to say like, babe, this was not that serious. Put the pen down, touch some grass. You're fine, you're fine. I'll make the outline thicker in a few spots. Maybe that'll help. I think it adds a bit of texture, a little bit of depth. And then I think I'm gonna get away from these feathers, because after you've done all you can, you know what I mean? Don't dwell. And speaking of moving on, I've decided, and I feel like you're gonna back me up on this one. I do want a peekaboo moment in the boob window. I think it's playful. I think it only adds. It only adds. What was the point of the window if we're not looking in it? You know what I'm saying? So I think we're gonna have a little under boob and a little side boob action. Tell me that didn't enhance. Tell me that she doesn't look like the diva she was always meant to be. This is coming together in such a real way. I'm in love. And this is, especially in the beginning of my art journey, this is where I'd stop. Maybe I'd add like a darker blue in the dress, you know, just to show the fullness, to accentuate it. But oh, I love it. I already added the second layer to that snippet of hair behind her. And then I think I want to make the leg, the little rings on her leg, a little bit thicker. It is amazing how a few small lines genuinely change everything. Everything, you know? I like to add like thicker outline under stuff because I feel like it looks like a little bit of shadow. I could be, you know, delusional, but to me, it adds a little bit of depth. And I think we could all use that. Now, if there's one detail I don't care about at all, it's the hat. I do not, like, I understand that is a good point. I like that she has it. I just don't care to draw it. So we're just gonna shadow where the inside is. And even then, I don't care about shape, form. You know, I finally found something I dislike more than practicing dynamic poses, drawing hands, the feet, facial expressions. I hate hats more than anything. I understand they're necessary, they're fashion. I love them. But why must I draw them? It is a bad time. But you know, that floppy, wide-brimmed hat, it's a look, especially paired with a scarf. Oh my gosh, glasses. Now that's another accessory I am not good at drawing, but man, do I love it. A bespectacled beauty. You know, there's something about the ones that can't see. Oh my gosh, I love glasses so much. You know, the finishing details, they're upon us. So we're adding black to the lips. We saw that coming. We did that on the other girl. It was only a matter of time before we got here. Now we also need to add it to that pretty crystal ball. It sits so well. What does it mean? I'm not sure. It's an aesthetic that escapes me, but I very much like it. Naturally, her eyelashes are beautiful. I don't want to add too much. The same would go for the hair. I think we really don't have to. She's fine, but what if we added black to the dress? We shouldn't. but it would take it in a new direction. Okay, fine, you twisted my arm. We'll do it, please. Now, I've always heard that people say not to shade in black. I disagree. To me, it gives off the texture of velvet. Oh, do I love that look. I would argue that this goes with any color. It is sleek. It is seductive. It is a statement. There's just too much to say. I adore this. Now, I know that I used to see this a lot in the comic book style with superheroes, or especially Catwoman. And you know what? They weren't wrong. Ask ourselves, what about the rings on her legs? Do we put black in there too, or is it overkill? Would it be too much? That's a legit question. Is that overkill? I feel like it can't be. I think it's just matching the energy. Now, we won't fill the whole ring in, just like a section, like a little line. Like that. Like a little dash. Like cute, flirty, fun. Not too much. Commitment is a no. We won't commit to it. We'll just add a little. I'm happy with the way that this is turning out. This looks good. I think the next area to tackle would have to be her lips. I don't like the way that we did it. So I'm going to grab a white gel pen and I'm just going to put a line in the middle. Anytime the looks look weird, anytime that gives me a problem, I always put a white line in between. And it kind of gives the semblance that she's showing teeth in some way that she's smiling. It's not a perfect fix, but I like it better than the problem I originally had. So I'm happy there. And just a little bit of gel pen on the hair too, because I need it to stand out against that horrible drawing in the background. This video is long. If we had more time, we would fill the entire background in and just be done with it. But I think this is one of the longest videos we've done in a while, so I guess I'll just forge through. We'll just keep going. I would like to start adding like a little bit of backsplash. Like, why don't we do a drop of color in the background? I've seen videos where it's like ways to spice up your sketchbook, and like low-key, I don't want to spice it up. I think it's very chaotic in there, and I am not spicing anything up, but that was a good one. That was a good idea. Now the gel pen looks really good, to the point where I'd like to add it in the rings, and maybe a little in her dress too. But at some point, you are adding way too much detail, and I don't want to risk it. Now, this has been quite a video. This has been long, but we are coming to the final stages. I just want a little bit of shading, just a little bit, just a healthy amount. If you've made it this far in the video, the attention span that you have, my word, drop a crab emoji. I want to say thank you in the comments. I love how this looks. Her skin should have been darker. I do think that we've been here way too long, so I'm not gonna do it. But in the original, I swear her skin is darker. And with these finishing touches, dare I say that we're done? Dare I say that we have come to a close? Let me see her again. I like it. I think that this looks good. We did the best with what we had for those feathers. I mean, we did our best. You can't help that there was already a drawing under there. Perhaps it wouldn't hurt to be more intentional about our art. Like, maybe we should thumbnail and try to get a sketch and the pose right. Some of you guys are asking for tutorials. Some of you are asking for more sketch with me's. So we'll see what we can do. But for now, I'm happy. We did our best with those feathers. I just gotta let it go. I'm actually happy how everything else turned out. So this was a win in my book. Thank you for watching. This was a lot. I will see you guys next time. This was so fun. Bye, guys.